Good afternoon. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Chris Ramirez. We are tracking those heavy showers moving into the Houston area, and we're actually seeing some of these storms pack a bit of a punch as they're moving into portions of Brazoria, Fort Bend, and Harris counties. The National Weather Service has issued a special weather statement for a storm that's currently to the southeast of Sugar Land. This storm has a potential to have some 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts and some heavy downpours as it's tracking to the northeast at 30 miles an hour. So definitely seeing some of the heavier rain moving into southwest Houston at the current moment. So definitely those roadways are going to start becoming a bit slick as we head into the next maybe hour or two. As we look at the track of this storm as it continues its motion towards South Houston, we could expect it to be in southwest Houston around 319, Fresno at 324, 333 at Alameda, 340 at Brookside Village, at 345 at West University Place. So heavy showers moving in from the southwest as we progress through the 3 p.m. hour, and we are going to continue seeing these showers tracking through southeast Texas as we go into at least 4 to 5 p.m. We also see some heavier downpours moving through Baytown. There is some lightning and some thunder with those storms out in East Houston as those storms are moving in closer towards Lake Houston, Humboldt, Atascocita area. So just keep in mind that any storm that does flare up in and around the east side of town, maybe northeast of Houston, will have the possibility of becoming a bit more severe as we go through the afternoon hours. And that's the reason why the National Weather Service has issued tornado watches that currently are in place for Liberty and Polk counties. That's going to be in place until 7 p.m. and that's why also we've issued that weather impact alert at least until 7 p.m. for us here across the Houston area. So Liberty County, Livingston, maybe portions of Cleveland could see some possible isolated tornadoes with these storms as they track through that area, and we're already starting to see radar flare up as we get to the warmer parts of our day. We've also had a bit of clearing. We've had some isolated blue skies, and that sunshine does provide fuel for some of these storms to become a bit stronger, and that's what we're seeing right now, especially as these storms are moving into southwest Houston and closer towards Sugar Land. So special weather statement in place for Brazoria, Fort Bend, and portions of Harris counties, and so 40-mile-an-hour winds are associated with that storm and that rain that's currently moving through that area for the most part. So even Katy now looking at some heavier showers along I-10. So as we get closer towards the commute home between maybe right from now through 4 to 5 p.m., we are expecting that to continue, that rain to become a bit heavy in some locations. Also keep in mind that areas from downtown Houston, maybe closer towards Galveston, is going to have the potential for some possible isolated ponding and flooding as this batch of rain is really not moving all that fast. We have some heavy rain, a lot of it moving in from the southwest. This is actually stretching as far south as Bay City as that batch of rain is heading towards the Houston area. So definitely seeing an active radar as we get into that commute home as we head into Friday evening. Special weather statement still in place. Heavier rain now moving in. Also keep in mind that areas as these storms move closer towards the northeast of Houston, maybe Liberty, Livingston, you have a higher potential for some severe storms, and that does include that tornado potential going into the next few hours. So let's go ahead and look at futurecasts. As we track these storms as they continue moving through the next few hours, we are going to see these out of the picture well east of us by closer towards 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, even 7 p.m. we could see a cease in the activity. So that's the good news in all of this. So if you're heading out to those watch parties as the Cougars take on for the basketball game, just keep in mind that we're going to see mostly quiet conditions closer to 7, 8 o'clock. We still could see some isolated showers, but the next couple of hours are going to be a bit active for us here across southeast Texas as some of this heavier rain is now moving in. And we're also not only looking at the heavier rain, we're looking at the possibility for some stronger storms as we're able to see this special weather statement that has been issued by the National Weather Service. So 40-mile-an-hour winds, we're not seeing any rotation with that storm right now, nor are we seeing any potential for that hail to be in that storm, but just keep in mind that we are very well could be looking at more of the ponding on roadways as we go into our commute home for this evening heading into Friday. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the radar right now and loop it for the past few hours. So heavy rain now moving into South Houston. It's going to continue tracking closer towards downtown as we head into the next maybe 30-40 minutes. So at least until maybe 4:30, 5 o'clock is when we're going to see this heavy rain continue tracking into the city. Especially we're seeing some heavier showers with some thunder and lightning moving in closer towards Baytown, towards Huffman right now. And so that's why we've had that weather impact alert in place for much of the day, even though we've had a rather quiet early half of our day. So definitely expecting those conditions to once again become a bit dicey in terms of travel conditions. So be extra cautious on those roadways as rain is already starting to become heavy here across the Houston area. And we can expect this to be clearing out of our area at least through 5, 6 o'clock later on this afternoon and later on this evening. So weather impact alert through at least 7 p.m. We could see some of those downpours. We could see some isolated strong storms, at least for the next couple of hours. So just keep an eye on that and pay attention. At least have 2 or more ways to receive those weather alerts as we head into the next couple of hours going into this evening. But the good news, after 7 p.m., as this low pressure system moves out closer towards Louisiana, that's when we're expecting to see this activity come to an end for us here across southeast Texas. So weather impact alert, downpours and strong storms through 7 p.m. Heavy downpours, gusty winds. We could see some isolated tornadoes east of Houston, and I'm talking about maybe just east of Houston, Liberty, Polk counties under that tornado watch until 7 p.m. as we could see a lot of energy definitely in this area. Closer towards Liberty, Winnie, Beaumont. You're seeing some lightning. Where you see the lightning is where you see the more of the stronger storm activity. And that's what we're seeing for those storms east of town right now, especially north of Beaumont, north of Liberty, where you see the lightning right there just moving across the I-10 corridor. But storms still a bit strong as we get closer towards Sugar Land in the South Beltway towards 288. No rotation, but we could see some heavy rain that could be blinding in some locations as these storms are continuing to move into the Houston area. So we're tracking the latest for you through the next couple of hours on KHOU.com and on the KHOU 11 app. Of course, join me at 4 p.m. for the KHOU 11 4 p.m. newscast, and we'll have the latest for you in your weather forecasts as we progress through the weekend, because we do have another chance of storms heading into Sunday as another cold front is expected to move through. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Chris Ramirez.